Yes, yes, y'all. Good morning. All right, so I tried to record this before. Um, because of the machine won't work, none of that stuff. I was worried about this beeping noise that's in my truck. It's just a sensor. But I figured what I gotta say next is probably some really important stuff for for you. If you're out there, anybody's out there that's listening that has ever gone through this or going through it. You've heard of the term church hurt. I've heard that, right? Believe it or not, even leaders, right, are people who go through church hurt. They're not only people who pastors and elders and bishops have done anything to that are affected, but even people who are leaders, who are pastors, elders, and bishops, they also go through church hurt. I wouldn't even call it church hurt because they're supposed to be mature enough to handle um, different things that leadership have done to them. Now, listen, I categorize church hurt in two things. One is a perceived church hurt, right? It's people who they have to go through discipline or they aren't part of a clique in the church because, sometimes churches have cliques. Is it right? No. But it exists. So I classify it like that. And then actual real church hurt, where literally there's abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse. So there is a real factor to it that there is a church hurt, that people have been affected negatively by the church and by Christians, whether in leadership or Christians in a group. You know, there's, like I said, it's perceived where, you don't like the discipline, so now you're hurt. Now you're offended, right? Or like I said, legitimate church hurt. This is where real abuse, physical, mental abuse, people using their powers to harm people. That's legitimate, right? So we get that. But you never hear about leadership um, being hurt. And I don't even know if even the word hurt is the best term, because I think leaders should know how to deal with it. But what about leadership? Like say a pastor who's opened a church and everything, but he was kicked out of a church before he was a pastor, or maybe if he was a pastor, or maybe he was a known evangelist. These things happen too. But the difference on all of it, right? I think, like I said, in the case of the ones who's legitimately church hurt, listen, there's counseling's got to go on, some restoration, things to bring them back, not necessarily to the church, but to wholeness. That's got to happen. Also, in the case of leaders who have been church hurt, they need to go through a period of restoration. I mean, I literally know one couple. They were dog walked out of a church, and to this day, they still go through. They say, "Oh no, we're not offended. We moved on." But you'd never see them meet with the person who did them harm. I'm talking about public humiliation thing. They won't meet with them. So that's when even decades later, that it still affects them. It's still right there. And I have this thing that I've heard, the phrase, hurt people, hurt people. It doesn't. And what's funny is Sometimes these same people who are these leaders or hurt, they do the same methods that actually they despise for themselves. Now, are you going to be mad at those people? No, don't. You can't be mad at them, because if you're a leader, you're really supposed to have grown in God's grace over years. You are a leadership. You're a pastor. You're a bishop. You're an elder for a reason. It's because you should have grown in grace, so that those things, whether it was affected or not, you wash it off, so that you can have a clean conscience to God. I know this is a subject that's that's starting to tear back some wounds to some people, but it's a truth. If you, and it's like, okay, wait. Why do we have a requirement for that, for leaders to do that, or should do that, and you don't expect others? Because you're a leader. You lead people. You lead people's lives. So if you're going in tainted and you're living that and you're continuously doing that, what happens is, in the time that things that arise, that you're supposed to be a leader, and it's something, maybe somebody does something you don't like, it shows up. Well, because you're programmed, you're going to do the same thing as the person who did that to you. You don't. You're going to do it, the same thing. That's not going to be helpful to anyone. That means you're not going to celebrate a person. You're not going to be on their team. Someone does something you don't like, you'll ignore them. You'll, just want to move out of their vicinity, right? You'll do it's like the secret wars. Me and my wife call it the secret wars, Publicly, they're saying or doing one thing and bless God and all these things, but privately, they make battle. They make wage a war against a person. But that's why I'm saying leadership's got to be mature. Just because people are old and aged does not mean that they're mature. I say this all the time. I used to say this to my old pastor, that yeah, they look like they should be having meat, but they're still just babies, and they've been babies for a long period of time. Oh, gotta wait for that turn. So, yeah, I just find it interesting. It just was a topic that came up. I'm just letting you know that, look, I get it. I understand. Right? Like I said, perceived church hurt. Listen, I'd say for you got to mature up and do your things. You don't need to be part of a clique. You don't need to, that one sister that offends you. Now you're just trying to find reasons to not go to church. You're not trying to be a part of the fellowship. You can make any excuse you want, but that's not church hurt. You don't even know what that is. For the one who is legitimately church hurt, you got to get some counseling. There's a little Rebbe Shindidike in the corner, thinking you're just going to pray and that's it. Some practical things is that you get some good counseling to help you through those things. And sometimes even involving the law is important. That's part of you getting healing. And you say, well, oh, wow, you're a pastor advising that people call authorities on other pastors. Well, yeah, it's wrong. It's a wrong thing. My point is that we're here for the kingdom, and that stuff is not anything that's kingdom. Anyone that's kingdom minded, you can't be having those things. That's not right. My third advice to leaders, pastors, elders, bishops, whoever you are, that have also gotten hurt, church hurt, as you would say. You guys need to get counseling as well. You guys need to sit to be restored with some fellows, some brothers, so that you can really get healing. Honestly, if you can't look at the person that did you hurt many years ago, yesterday, 5 years ago, you can't look them in the eye, you can't have a conversation with them, you can't talk to them, you're still, your church hurt, you know, and you need to be healed and made whole just like anyone else. And unfortunately, the world of leadership is mostly an alone, being alone, which is kind of sad, because you can't really, talk to everybody about everything. But that's my encouragement today. That's my encouragement today. It's just something I hear these terms and things. And, there's situations where I could have been church hurt, but there's certain things that have made me immune to it. Because it starts with, first of all, realizing the fallibility of other men, right? I already know that I just know men. I know what people do. I never put anyone up on a pedestal. I respect highly a lot of people. And even when people do me ill, because they do, I don't feel I'm going to be in their vicinity, right? But that doesn't stop me from wanting to meet with you. Doesn't stop me from having to hear what you have to say, right? But it doesn't mean I'm going to go out my way to not be around that person. I just understand the nature of man and what men do. Once you understand that, you just let them have at it. Do what you want, So, with that, be blessed, be encouraged. If you've been church hurt, put in the comment. If you'd like prayer, I don't mind praying. Like I said, prayer is great. It's not the only thing that's going to do something. In a lot of the cases, you're going to need some good counseling to start healing those things. It's a holistic approach. You got to get healed. You got to get whole, but put in place properly to be in good service. Otherwise, you're just really just a damaged vessel that has got to carry God's glory. Just because God's glory is all over your life doesn't mean that, that's ever going to go away. It's there until you deal with it. So, God bless you all as I finish my drive to work. I hope that beeping didn't bother you too much, but I for sure knew before I got active and crazy today that I had to get this out of my heart, my spirit. So, God bless you. Love you all. If you can, give this a like. Thank you. God bless you.